Okay, I'll call the meeting to order of Seymour Municipal Airport Authority, Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. We will begin with roll call.
Brian Thompson.
Here.
Scott Davis.
Here.
Brandon Sunbury.
Here.
Ryan Williams.
Here.
Matt Lorenzo.
Here.
Colin Smith.
Here.
Morgan Bond. Here.
Thank you. February board minutes are printed.
I move we accept them as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. PFNS.
Okay.
There we go.
Here we go.
Okay. We will start with the runway 432 pavement design plans next month, and there is intended to be a plan review meeting prior to the April 21st board meeting at 6:15 during or an hour prior to. So if you all want to look over that, be here an hour early on the 21st so you can see what's all in the plans.
We'll roll out the plans.
Roll out the plans and put it out to bid, assuming a satisfactory review period that evening.
Perfect, thank you.
The T-hanger design, rebid was done, value engineering was done. I believe Paul provided, did that get to everybody, the calculation for the rebid? Everybody see that? I know it, Brian, I saw it was transmitted to you, I saw that specifically.
Yeah,
I assume everybody
And it's
got
here in
that.
your.
It's in your packet.
Yep, it's in everybody's packet.
So you have, one bid, received on the rebid. It's still, a good bit higher, than the engineer estimate on that. The recommendation is that take it under advisement rather than to, actually award it pending further review and consideration of how you want to utilize the funds, or to be allocated to that.
So I'll accept the motion to take the T-hanger bid under advisement at this time.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Then along with taking that under advisement is consideration of, the BIL money, or now the IIJA money, however you wanna, whatever alphabet soup you wanna use for that.
Just today.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you would prefer to use that money for other projects that would be aviation related and FAA approved, and then pursue other funding options for the T-hanger. That would be a conversation the board could have on
And
that.
Colin and I have been working on alternate plans, so we're gonna try to come up with a couple options on the hangar, whether we stick with BIL money and have that higher investment, or if we do local funding only, we're pursuing right now what that would look like. So we're gonna be able to do a head-to-head comparison, and then Colin has come up, and we use BFNS ideas too, to come up with alternate plans for the BIL money. So we'll be able to utilize it. We've got projects enough out here to take care of that. We're just trying to decide which hole it fits in best for the most efficiency for the government's funding. So we'll keep the board all updated on how that goes. And I'll call for a vote, because I think I did a motion in a second. All in favor of T-hanger bids under advisement, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, then, regarding the release of parcel 16 plat 32 from the, I can never get that acronym, National Emergency Use Provision. I think I got that right, NEUP. Right now, it looks like concurrence has been received from all the agencies, but the actual deed of release has not yet been received, and we don't really have a time frame yet for, that's a who knows when that may happen, unless you guys have heard anything since Paul put this together. So we'll see what happens on
Okay.
that. But it looks like everybody's signed off on it, it's just more getting that official word back from FAA.
Based on that, Paul did reach out, as well as that parcel, specific on actually changing the lease once it's been approved by the higher ups. I didn't wanna authorize the change of that lease or documentation until all the, you know, the paperwork has been taken care of first.
Mhm.
I know it's already been approved on this side, but, you know, incorporating that, all the documentation is taken care of first.
Mhm.
Then we can move forward with that.
Sounds good. Then, the final item I have is, we have an invoice, invoice number 107304 for $2,606.96 for the hangar development. And, request a motion for that to be approved, because Paul likes to get paid.
All needs a move. I move that we present it, that we pay the invoices presented.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And that's all I have.
Any questions for Brent? Thank you.
Really?
Painless. Okay, aviation fuel fund report.
As of today, there's $545,310.58 in the aviation fuel fund.
And if I understand correctly, Colin, you had purchased 2 loads of fuel?
That's after 2 loads of fuel. We filled up our jet tank and our avgas tank.
Setting records this month.
Yeah.
You want,
Go ahead and hit on that while we're here.
yeah, so based on fuel sales and, we are currently, based on pricing, we are the cheapest in 100 low lead and the cheapest in jet fuel. Based on air nav and our 50 nautical mile radius. And it kinda goes to show, our full operation count for March of 2024 was 155 operations. As of 6:30 PM on the 11th of March today, our current operation count is 519.
Wow.
On the 11th day of March.
We're not even halfway. So,
Sounds good.
a lot of traffic, a lot of fuel, a lot of aircraft coming in, so word is getting out. We'll see where this takes us.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be fun, guys. So we're here. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Looks like we have 1 rent review.
Just one tonight, Dave O'Meara Contractors, Inc., it's 3-year term, they have 1.85 acres. Their current rate is the $2,674 per acre per year, so that is $7,356.17 per year at the current rate. The new proposed rate is with the CIP for $3,147 per acre per year, so that is $8,968.95 per year. So it's a yearly increase of $1,623.78.
I move that we approve the rent review for Dave O'Meara Contractor.
And is there a second?
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. February's financial report.
Our income for the month of February was $88,321.27. Our expenses were $120,965.28. So our over under, we were over $32,644 and a penny. But we spent $60,000 on fuel
Yeah,
for the month,
yeah,
so.
it makes a difference. We're gonna sell it though, guaranteed. All right, any comments, questions on the financial report?
Yep.
Okay, Colin, you have a fire department report?
Yeah, so, currently the fire department's report, so their plans are to stay the same, they're finalizing everything in April and then building in May. They have currently incorporated their plot where they want the tower to go, and it's not in conjunction or worrisome based on the actual building. The Titan Turner's building, they would like to, move out of that, so, incorporate their own space. And, based on the, area that Time Turner's will be, utilizing, it will be 0.56 acres instead of the, entire 4 to 6 acres that it was prior. So that dropped the price down to $1,762.32 per year, which would come out to be $146.62 per month. And, that would not be including utilities that would have to be provided, since the fire department will no longer be partaking in the building.
On one comment, the fire department put another 40-foot container out there, and it's getting pretty close to the overhead door.
Okay.
I'd just like if there was some way to ensure that we had access to that overhead door, that's all the concern we had, because right now, there's plenty of room, but if they set another container up there to do whatever, it might make it difficult to, egress that facility through the overhead door.
Okay, yeah, I can get in contact with the
Yeah,
fire
I
department
mean,
tomorrow.
right now, that's not in a way, but I know I've seen their stakes and flags,
Mhm.
numerous locations out there for their proceeded project, so.
Mhm.
That's the only concern we have on that, so.
Okay, perfect.
And we'll work on the lease changes, so that can be cleaned up, and we'll get everything on track here.
Yep, we'll get that,
Excellent, very
we'll
good,
get that
thank
taken
you.
care of. And, the fire department proposed area where they want the fire training tower to go is, basically sitting on a couple of trees, but they have already assured that they are gonna be taking care of the trees for us, so.
Yes, Larry?
I'd like to ask Colin, the construction the fire department will be doing, would I be correct that won't affect airport operations at all, as in takeoffs and landings? It's well back from everything, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
It is completely, outreach from the runway safety area, as well as the ROFA, the object-free area. So there won't be any problems, and based on the altitude that they would be bringing in a crane, there would be no factor.
Well, that'd be temporary anyway, I was thinking, no long-term
Correct.
changes. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments, questions? Very good. Mortgage on Diner Building.
Luke Franklin, who owns Metalogics, reached out to me about taking out a mortgage on the building of the diner. I emailed him and reminded him today, of the meeting, and he wasn't able to make it. I spoke with Matt, and he said that we've done that previously, but it would be a board decision. Luke was hoping to send a representative, but I don't think he did.
When did we do that before, Matthew?
Did I tell you? I don't remember.
Mm-mm.
We would just like authorize them to take out a mortgage on what they own
Okay,
in the building.
which is the structure itself only, okay.
For the church, they did it for the church last year.
Okay.
Emmanuel, he
Yeah,
did
that's
say that.
So, do we need action on that tonight?
I move that we allow Luke Franklin to take out a mortgage on the diner building.
Personal
And
property
that would
only.
be,
Personal property
his
owner.
LLC, what's it?
Metalogics,
No, the
Lowe's Modern Kitchen.
Diner
Oh.
820 LLC.
Yes.
Diner 820 LLC, okay.
Okay.
Diner 820 LLC, I move we allow him to take out the mortgage on the building itself for Diner 820 LLC.
Is there a second? Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Send them a note. Okay, Colin, we have an assessment. This is for, perimeter fencing.
Yeah, so, the TSA reached out to me about, doing a possible assessment, and I actually believe I went on that twice. But the TSA assessment would basically incorporate information for the airport based on wildlife and security to give us opportunities for grants. Mainly to, protect the assets that we have out here. Wouldn't be completely fenced off or, because.
We're not gonna go all the way around the property
Mhm.
at this time.
Right, yeah. So the main aspect that we're wanting to look at is specifically just our access points. And so, fencing can get a little bit pricey, but there are grants out there that we would be able to partake in, to utilize that money and,
So after the assessment, then we'll look at what grants are available, and then we make the decision.
Mhm.
Okay.
Seems good.
Yep, just get information, then report back to you guys and then see what we can do.
Good deal. Questions? Next would be lease updates. What are we gonna do on leases?
Yeah, so we have a few leases, actually not a few, two. Two leases that wanted to terminate within, aircraft tenants, but we actually brought in three, and then that opened up two more spots.
Okay,
So-
so we got T-hanger leases we were talking about, okay,
Mhm,
aircraft leases,
Yep.
gotcha.
So aircraft leases are currently being updated. We've already created two more leases, and we're hoping to add our count by at least three or four by the end of the month.
And what do we have on the waiting list right now, as far as T-hangers?
15.
15, okay.
15 people wanting hangar space.
Not all 15 of those people have planes, so.
I think nine have aircraft,
Okay,
so.
we'll fill it up pretty quick once we get our bill, okay.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you. Fuel farm report?
Yeah, so based on the fuel farm that we've been looking at,
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
yeah, so the fuel farm that was brought to us with the possibility of bringing into our property, you know, for the,
Extra tank,
Right.
tank that we considered for Jet, a second Jet A tank.
right, so based on my assessment, I do have pictures that I want to email you. But based on the pricing, it would be 68.5, but incorporating the transportation of the facility, it would be 69.8. There were some, overall, the system looked really good. The fuel pumping aspect looked really good. We didn't get to test the electronics in the system, and that's the number one thing that I want to look at, as well as the inside of the tank. The outside of the tank looked pretty good. There weren't any damages, didn't seem to leak or anything, but, you know, there are still more steps, quite a few more steps that I wanna take before we do anything. And that's just more on the safety aspect.
And Colin's been looking into what the price of a new fuel tank would be also, because here's the thing, if it's a good deal for us, but we really don't need it right now, we're making a purchase for the future. That's a little bit of a risk.
Mhm.
If it's not a lot more for a new system, we can wait till we actually do need that system and then bring it in without a lot more cost and yet with a lot less risk. So Colin's checking that.
That's just the
report.
purchase price.
Right.
That's not
Yeah,
moving it.
he would take care of any repairs, any damages. If the inside of the tank was jeopardized in any way, he said that they would take on that cost as well. But then we also have to think about, you know, putting out a plot, the cost of money. You know, the transportation would be included in that cost, but the actual placement,
To place it,
Containment
Containment
system,
system, yeah.
security system around it, plumbing it in with everything else we've got, so we're Colin's gonna kinda take it step by step.
absolutely. This is definitely nothing to rush about, because currently we're doing really good. I mean, we are
Don't screw it up.
we're getting load after load, but we're not at the point where we're falling behind.
Well, and Colin uses the fuel trucks as a kind of a buffer for us too, so
Mhm.
once we run lower out here, you maybe can't take a full load, but we can take a full load with and fill the fuel truck. So then we've got more than just one tank.
Mhm.
That's important.
Absolutely. And so that's kind of where we are. Looking at prices for, new fuel tanks itself would be probably around 85 to 100, but that's not including like the pumping framework and the pipe work for, you know, pumping aviation fuel. So, you know, we're still pricing, still doing quotes, but, you know, it's an unfinished product so far, so.
Larry, did you have a comment?
I did. When we bought Pardex fuel system in 1998, 99, the got what we thought was a good deal, very solicited bids, all that stuff. But what it turned out was, it was a pretty good deal because the, pump and control system was like on the last legs of being current. And shortly after we bought it, they came out with new, more modern systems that did more stuff. And our system, while it worked, became an orphan.
Mhm.
So I think you have to watch out about buying something and say, oh, we'll just stick that in storage and maybe we'll need it in 6 or 8 years. You might find out it's obsolete.
Mhm.
And so just because we had a bad experience, I thought I'd mention it.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you for that history. Keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Great, very good. The tug, a little bit better story.
Right, so the tug was priced at 8,500, and that would need board approval, but based on the tug usage that we have now, we thought it would be very usable, we'd be able to utilize it quite a bit. The only thing different by what tug we have currently now, that we don't own, is we wouldn't be able to haul as big of aircraft, but we'd still be able to tug jets and liners such as that. It would be able to take care of the Gulfstream and the Challenger that are here, so wouldn't have to worry about that. So those sizes of aircrafts, they would be able to do. Anything bigger, struggle. But all the systems look good, the electronics worked, the batteries were just replaced and new. So all of those aspects, and the only like minor difference between the tug that we have is an automated crank to pull the aircraft in. Now we have an actual crank on the top of the tug, which
A winch.
it wouldn't be a problem. So
And that was at Salem, the tug, or the fuel tank was at Salem?
the fuel tank was at Salem, now currently being stored in Scottsburg, and the tug was at Salem.
But it's actually here now.
Yes, the tug is here in the Blue Hanger now.
So accept the motion to make that,
I move that
do that purchase.
we purchased the tug at the $8,500.
There's a second.
Second.
And, well, I'll wait till you.
No,
once you're
okay.
ready.
Any comments, questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And so, based off that tug, it was seen as a very reasonable price because we priced that same model out to above 16,000 marks. So we definitely, going through all the quotes that we had available, we were able to understand that it was a good deal for what we were having. And then, next is the scissor lift, which would be priced at 3,500, and that lowest price that we quoted was around 5,000. And that would be with no batteries. And what we were seeing is that we would be able to utilize this on everything pavement. And so any projects that we need to work on with our hangar, inside hangars, any type of affiliations that we need to get up, instead of renting one for $1,800 a pop, we could utilize this and already start making a financial incorporation after 3 uses.
Where's it at right now? The scissor lift?
Here in the.
So it's here now?
Blue Hanger. Mhm.
Okay.
So,
Here's the thing too about the scissors lift. We do use that for bird proofing. These old hangars are
Yeah.
hard to keep birds out of. And it's not like you bird proof them once and you're done. So continuous bird proofing requires continuous use of a lift like this. And the fact that we have this unit here now means that we can be more progressive on bird proofing instead of waiting until it's a problem and then try to fix the problem. So hopefully it'll help all the pilots with that too. So that's our plan.
the only thing that needed to be replaced, and this scissor lift was overhauled 5 years ago. So it's basically brand new, based on the hours that it's been used. And the only thing that had to be replaced were the batteries, and we priced those batteries at $500. So even with the purchase of batteries, we're saving $1,000 on the lowest quote that we find, for the same scissor lift. And so, but
So
every
we're looking
time,
with so the 500 is on top of the 3,500.
correct,
Okay.
Does that require us to have any training for the guys on fall protection and safety harnesses?
we do have safety harnesses.
Okay.
And we use those when we're operating the equipment above 10 feet.
I move that we, go ahead and pay for the scissor lift with the batteries at a total of $4,000.
Correct.
Second. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
See, the only reasoning that we have these is because they're here currently, and the amount of times that we would utilize them would be way beyond any price that we would ever pay when we keep on renting. And so, you know, us renting the scissor lift for 3 uses last year was over the cost of actually purchasing one for our own ownership and utilization. So, we just thought it would be more beneficial to actually have it in here. We already have access to it, it's on site.
Perfect. Thank you, Colin. Thanks for the effort of finding those. Okay, next item is rates and charges. Hangar, transient charges. What have you got for us tonight?
So this is not, this is more of like an update of where we're at. So currently the state of Indiana is doing hangar rates and transient charges updates based on kind of like what's fair market value, and it's hard to put a point based on specifics on, because every airport's different, but we're starting to classify ourselves into the same categories and change our prices within that aspect, but no hard plans have been created, and of course, anything that we move forward with, would be given up as multiple options for the pilots to choose as well. What would help them the best, you know, if you need like a 5-year, if we do like a 5-year stair step or something like that, but there would be no hard, you do this or you get out type deal. This would just be mainly, you know, updating our prices, because we are the cheapest in the land, and there are airports on the aviation side for hangars. There are airports a fourth of our size that have been getting more revenue than us based on our hangars and our transient fees. And you know, a lot of that aspect doesn't want us to be the bad guy. We want to be competitive. We want to make sure people keep coming back. So don't want to appall at any type of operation or potential growth. It's just something that the state's working on, and I can keep updating it as it goes, and any decisions can be made by the board.
I don't wanna wind up being known as, you know, that airport that has a fee for everything. You know,
Exactly.
sign-on fee, you know, you know, the list goes on. of what-
Exactly.
And that's what attracts people to come here, is because we don't nickel and dime everybody to death, so. I wanna be careful about that.
I completely agree. Perfect. Because that mindset is what keeps our operations high. And so updating what everybody else does, because every airport's completely different. And that's how we've been changing, that's how we've been evolving. And so, I completely agree with that comment. So we just need to think about that and make sure that we understand that when we're making choices.
And if we do, as Colin said, if we do make changes, if we need to, well, it's a technology age now, so you can get a lot more information than used to get. So we can kind of align with other airports. And as we do that, if we see a need to make a change, changes are gonna occur very slowly and in steps, rather than all at once and say, here we go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to do this and keep it updated, and so in the future then too, changes that occur won't be as dramatic. So, that's the plan, keep gathering data. Actually did a hangar survey, Larry, about 5 years ago. I got my notes from that yet too, so we'll utilize that. Colin's got a bunch of info from current, so we'll keep reporting to you guys.
And that's deciding if we even choose to change our pricing and stuff, so, it's, basically, I'll just give all the information I can, and then we move forward nonetheless. You know, but the aspect of constantly improving and the growth of the airport also has to be kept in mind, so.
Perfect. Questions, comments? Okay, Scott, you're
I
up.
move we have a sign of claims and receipts.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any board comments, questions? Colin, you're up.
Alrighty, so our month up to date, so the fuel farm and jet truck. So we've sold quite a few gallons out of the fuel truck already since our last meeting. So we, based on last year alone, within the 5-6 months that we had it, we had already created enough revenue out of it that all the time that we have currently with the jet fuel truck is now pure incoming revenue. So we're doing really well on that. Did mention that we are the cheapest 100 low lead and Jet A, so we're extremely competitive within the area. Military, the Kentucky 123rd completed operations since last meeting. They all went well, and they were buying fuel. So, and they have planned operations on March 26th and 27th. That's their closest operations. The paratroopers out of the Cessna Skyvan. The U.S. Army is planning operations with the C-130 tomorrow, paratrooper operations. So we're excited about that. They do know that we can refuel, so it just depends if they need the fuel or not. Indiana, Ohio.
How long's
National
gonna make them
Guards.
idle out there, wait a whole long time to get some take off?
Right,
Wait, you got, there's birds crossing the runway, we gotta wait.
right,
Maybe it'll work,
absolutely.
we'll let you know if it works or not.
We do a toll gate like in Blazing Sound.
Somebody can go back after a shitload of dimes.
Keep the trucks out on the runway.
Yeah, just keep it circling. Sorry.
Great ideas, guys, great ideas.
Sorry, I had to do the runway inspection.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah, and then the Indiana, Ohio National Guards, they completed operations, and they do have upcoming operations in April. And then the aviation update. So, as you guys know, the airport did pass our aviation NDOT inspection, and then we got that form. So, we went ahead and put up that finalized form for the airport inspection. Currently watching closely on a couple of House and Senate bills. If they go to another stage for it, I'll advise them, but right now, at the stage that they're at, you know, it takes a lot for a bill to be passed, so, mainly over airport boards and, operation extensions. So, once I keep a look at that and they move forward, then I'll advise, but right now it's just people speaking. Airport projects, so, based on the based aircraft inventory, so we're still working with other airports for the self-auditing of our airports, and then, you know, the rates and charges. Airport gating, so I already explained this, that they plan on coming in April, and the grant opportunities and assessments will follow. Airport lighting, so it's still in the works for Hangar Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. We are currently planning dates, and then that would be conducted after bird control and hangar inspections, utilizing the scissor lift. Then maintenance, so we have an updated inventory, so we're almost done with all airport maintenance on equipment, and then the airport is improving on a lot of projects that are planned. And I did include this month, it's something I would like to start doing each month for you guys, just to give you a more understanding of our big picture. Obviously, we do a lot more projects than that's on this sheet, but these are the big pictures for you guys to kind of soak in and understand at an easier aspect. And so, obviously the green is the finished or completed, and then the yellow is the work in progress or must wait to complete. So, That's just a list, and you guys can assess that on your own.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks for that.
That should be it.
Any questions for Colin? Ms. Morgan?
Okay.
Nothing. Mr. Matt? Nothing. Mr. Larry?
I'm with Colin. Do you have any idea when you might actually do the work on the hangar lighting? Every month I put in the newsletter, next
I
month.
I know, it keeps getting pushed back, because the current projects that we're working on, obviously the maintenance for all the airport equipment has been priority one because of the year upcoming. We have to spend money and get quotes and everything on all of our equipment. But if I was to guess specifically, start of April would be bird control, and that should only last about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And so I would say middle of April is when
Latter
we're
part
gonna
of
start.
April.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say middle.
He wants to know if we hear May.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say middle of April is when we're gonna start commencing that after the bird control and hangar inspections.
Anything else, Larry?
Nothing, thank you.
Nothing else for me. You don't ask me questions anymore. You notice that I must have graduated. You guys are calling all the time now.
That's because he just tells us everything.
Because I'm retired. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
I've got the lease for the office space that we chatted about over the last couple of
Okay.
meetings.
Perfect.
Thank you. There's a couple things in the lease I need to have adjusted for that, so, minor things here, like, can only use the office space for the building of wings and fuselages.
Oh.
I don't think that's gonna be appropriate for what we're
Some
doing
stuff
here.
is carried through apparently.
Okay, and I have some other questions regarding, access. One of the doors in the office is open into the hangar building. I'm assuming people who have planes in the building are using the bathroom type of thing. Do I need to keep that open? This is not listed, or, so anyway, I just, I have the lease, there are some things we need to talk about. I don't wanna go through all the details here. But if we wanna set up something offline, just to identify those things and work that out.
We'll update the lease, but to answer your question, that door does remain locked. So,
Okay, it was open the other day, I don't know who
Okay.
has the key, but,
it might have been the maintenance doing their inspection and,
okay,
because we were doing square footage of the hangar to understand what type of aircraft we can get in.
sure,
But based on your question, it does remain locked, and that shouldn't be opened by any of the personnel with aircraft in there because they utilize the terminal.
okay, well, that's.
As far as they know, they utilize the terminal for what they need.
Yeah, I understand, I just know that if I have an airplane in there and I'm doing work on it and it's raining outside, it's sure a lot more convenient than walking over to the terminal building.
Right,
So,
yes.
I get it.
Mhm.
Alright, so, anyway, I'll get with you after and we can work out the details on some of these.
Perfect, happy to help.
Yep, thank you, guys.
That got you, Barney?
Yes, I'm good.
Hey, anything else?
I'll move with adjourn.
For a second?
Second.
All in favor? Say aye. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Another one in the books.
You got her done.